wrong they were, but not Mackey and Judd.
Write this down.
This is the big leagues, where we own our terrible predictions.
Write that down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages. It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackey and Judd.
We should change that intro again. This is the big leagues, where we don't vote any of our best players into the Hall of Fame, because we do thorough background checks into every nook and cranny of their personality.
That's the FBI at your door right now. You want to answer?
Are you a Republican? Were you on an Antifa message board one time? Sorry, you're not a Hall of Famer. Anyhow, this is Write That Down every Wednesday on Mackey and Judd. Also, we have launched another version of Write That Down, a football version of Write That Down on Purple Daily every Wednesday. And so you can check those out on the Purple Daily and Mackey and Judd podcast every Wednesday, Apple, Spotify, scorenorth.com, and the Score North app. And also YouTube channels are Score North and Purple Daily. So every week, as you can see on the screen here, if you're watching on our YouTube channel, we get 3 predictions from everybody. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs. And if you want to be part of the show, if you're a listener out there, just send a DM to @PhilMackey or @Dex's tweets on Twitter. Our DMs are open. And this week, we're going to get Dustin in the mix to take his swings. We start a new season every time the calendar rolls over. And so we're about a month in. Judd had just a ridiculous Barry Bonds-like season last year. We don't know if he was on performance enhancers or not.
This is when I'm going to lose my title.
His head got bigger. It was a whole thing.
It did, yeah. His hat size changed quite a bit. And he's off to a great start this year, too.
That was pandemic related.
Okay.
You said you knew this was going to happen way before April 12th, and it did. You said Pierre-Luc Dubois will be traded by the April 12th NHL trade deadline. He was traded like 2 days after you made this prediction, basically. Not to the Wild, unfortunately.
No.
It'd be nice. I said the Packers would beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Well,
I mean, I didn't say what year, in fairness.
Okay. Larry Brown.
Yeah. And Matt LaFleur got you. Matt LaFleur. 4th down, you're gonna go for it? Nah. Hey, Mason Crosby, come in here.
We're gonna kick a field goal.
Richie.
A field goal. Listener predictions here. We have one come off the board. Drew P said Kakkonen would start opening night of the 2021 season and get a win. I looked at this funny because Declan has one. Declan has one that needs a review.
Okay.
Let's start with the win here. You said the Twins will sign at least 2 free agents this month to major league contracts. Happ and Simmons signed.
Very nice.
So you got that one. So this is where we might need a vote here. So you said Kakkonen would make a start by next week's Write That Down.
Okay.
Yep.
And he'll allow 1 goal or less.
Yep.
So he made a couple of starts.
So
and allowed 2 goals or more. And then he came in a game in the second period and allowed fewer than.
So I'll wear this one here. So I said he'd make a start. And in that first start, he allowed 2 goals. And the next appearance, he came in for relief because Talbot got hurt and he didn't allow any goals.
But it wasn't a start.
It wasn't a start. So it's a miss because I said I meant that in his first start, he'll do this. So I'm aware it's out. I'm not. There's no.
Declan knew what was in Declan's heart.
No sabotage.
Declan knew.
Not going to hide it. Not going to try to
Yeah, I don't see how it works for you if you didn't hide it with how it's worded.
As long as listeners aren't actively sabotaging me, I'll sabotage myself before that happens. Okay.
I'm just gonna say, it's very noble of you to just sort of lay down on this one and wave the white flag. I think if it were me, I would try to take this to the Write That Down Supreme Court. First of all, I would try to get a couple judges that like me, and then I would try to take it to the Write That Down Supreme Court, and I would try to argue that these are 2 separate predictions, that he would make a start and that he will allow 1 goal or less, and the "and" separates the 2 fragments.
Here's the issue. I said a start. By the next week's Write That Down. Yep. He's made 3 starts since then.
Which you didn't foresee because you didn't know Talbot would get hurt.
Yep. Yeah. And at all those 3 of his starts, he's allowed more than 1 goal. He allowed 2, 4, and 2. The one he allowed 0 goals, and it wasn't a start. If I said he makes an appearance and allows 1 goal or less.
This wouldn't get out of state court,
I
okay?
agree.
This wouldn't get to the Supreme Court. A judge that you appointed in Milwaukee would shoot this sucker down.
What if just for fun, what if the sentence had ended with, so So Kokkonen will make a start by next week's. Write that down, and he'll allow 1 goal or less in a game. If it ended within a game, then you would have been covered there. I'm just trying to think of like for next time.
He'll allow 1 goal.
And you're forgetting one that I think came off the board last week.
Yeah,
I'm being noble here. Being very noble.
What?
I believe I said the Wild would score 3 power play goals by next week's. Write that down.
Oh, and you were.
Oh, you're right.
And
You're right.
let me tell you right now.
I forgot to put that one in here.
Let me tell you right now. Declan Goff was apoplectic in the press box last night.
I just wanted
When
one.
scored 2.
when they came
2.
so close.
God, dude. I didn't even care if they won that game. I just wanted my write that down to hit. I literally
know.
said that to Judd. I was like, I don't care if they win this game. I just want the write that down to hit.
I
And it
did.
didn't.
I did ding that one in the database, so
Okay.
your average will be updated correctly. But I forgot to put it in the
I'm being
actual.
noble. This is a new Declan. Noble
So.
Declan in 2021.
You're just trying to sell yourself out before the listeners get to your ass is
That's
what you're
true.
doing.
So with that, Judd Zulgad leads with a 600 batting average about a month into the season here. Declan hitting 400. I'm at 250. Listeners are at 125. Nobody has a home run yet.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All time, Judd Zulgad with 146 career hits, 8 home runs. I have 113 career hits and 10 home runs. Listeners have 89 career hits and 9 home runs, and Declan has 35 career hits and 2 home runs since 2018 when we started keeping track of these stats. We did write that down in 2016 and 17, but it's much like the early 1900s baseball stats. I don't really know where the box scores are. I have no idea. They're on a different computer.
Why can't you find them? Come on.
I might have just like written over them. It was a mistake. It's in hindsight.
Hey, be noble.
I honestly, I didn't think we'd still have jobs this far into the future.
Hey,
so,
good for you. Me neither.
but here
The
we go.
we can't be fired till the Larry Brown prediction comes to fruition.
We'll tell that.
Once Larry Brown dies, we're gonna get a call.
That's-
All right,
yeah,
guys.
You guys to bring your card keys
okay,
in.
you guys are in. It's been great.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, let's get our guest listener predictor here, Dustin, into the mix. What's up, Dustin?
Not much. How you guys doing?
We were talking before the segment started that you might be the MVP for background signage with your D-Generation X sign. So
Yes, it's
congratulations
over there.
sir.
So,
What's the story there?
I work in production, and some of my friends were actually on the WWE Hall of Fame show that year, and that was the sign from the podium for their Hall of Fame induction that they brought to me, and I was like, "Yes, I will take that off your hands."
I would probably paid money for that. Like I would if
Oh,
that was
Declan's
up for
jealous.
auction. I think Phil and I would both pay
Yeah.
money for that.
So it sits in my office, and every time I do a Zoom, it's prominently displayed. So
Before every show, I don't know if you guys know this, but Declan wears a leather jacket and jeans in the studio.
Yeah.
And he brings a bottle of water, pours a little over his head, takes a swig, and then does the Triple H spit the water and 3 crotch chops to get us pumped up.
Because of COVID, I've stopped doing that, but I do bring the pyrotechnics that X-Pac would bring into the ring. I just do the 3 chops, and then I jump in the air, and then I get in the studio chair. That's what I do.
Yeah. Judd, you have any idea what we're talking about?
No idea, but that's okay. You guys keep going. I wouldn't pay for the sign, but that's okay because it would be between you two.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, so here's how this is going to work. Dustin's going to lead off. We're all going to make 3 predictions. So we'll go Dustin, Judd, Declan, back to me, Phil Mackey. We'll make 3 trips. So, Dustin, lead us off.
all right, my first one's going to be a wrestling parlay.
Yes.
So WrestleMania 37 will have at least 60,000 total fans over 2 nights. And Becky Lynch will return the next day on Monday Night Raw, April 12th, 2021.
She's been posting some Instagrams with her baby from like the CrossFit place that they live by. Not that I follow wrestling super awkwardly closely.
Becky who?
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch, one of the great women's champions, if not the iconic women's champion of all
She
time.
is the best thing they have going for him. And she's out right now because she had a
And
baby.
she hasn't been there in a year. Yeah.
She's great. Big Becky guy.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, Judd Zulgad.
All right. The Wolves will make a coaching change by the beginning of next season. The Wolves will make just to clarify, a head coaching change by the beginning of next season. So
Okay, off the record, do you think it'll happen during this season?
No, I don't. And I was going to say that, but I don't want to just in case. But my feeling is that it won't because I think they're going to give Ryan as much a chance as possible to get Towns back, pair him with Russell and see how that goes. But I got to believe that they're going to come to the conclusion that it was just too much too soon and that they will make a change, but they'll do it in the summer months after they're done. That's my off the record opinion. I also think it's very interesting that the Washington Wizards are a terrible basketball team.
Yes.
Much like the Wolves, I get that. But Bradley Beal is like inconsolable now.
Yeah, dude, he was like crying on the bench yesterday.
That's my partner's guy.
Yeah, I've been all over the Bradley Beal steam for 2 years. I don't know how you pull it off now that you've kind of committed to D'Angelo Russell. I guess would you have to include Russell contractually back to Washington in a trade? Like, I don't know how that would work, but Towns and Beal would be amazing.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, Dex.
All right, I'm gonna get this off the board right away before Phil does. Michelle on The Bachelor, who is the new contestant from Edina.
Dude, I caught up last night.
Wasn't it insane?
Michelle from Edina just came. So they brought 5 new women in, and Michelle from Edina just took over the show. Very, very charming.
Someone from Edina? Really?
Yeah.
Well,
that's really surprising.
A black woman from Edina. Yeah. I mean, I don't mean that derogatively. I'm just saying, like,
well, shout out
diversity.
Shout out to Bring Me the News, because they did a story. So she was a Woodbury Preps basketball star. So she was like at All-State by the Star Tribune
Woodbury,
like 10 years ago. Same class as me, 2011, which is a little too bad for Matt. But I think she makes it to hometowns. The Bachelor's. Might write that down.
What's her name again?
Michelle.
Michelle from Edina, right?
Yeah, Michelle from Edina. Michelle will make it to hometowns in The Bachelor.
Okay. Wow, I almost feel like
you guys are making predictions. I have you might as well be talking French.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna call an audible on the fly here. I had a couple Andrelton Simmons predictions. I'm just gonna pick one of them because I have other things.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
I'm gonna one up Declan.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Michelle from Edina wins it all.
That's fine. I was gonna do that, but I want
too late now,
dude.
I think she's everything he's looking for in a woman.
Yep.
I think she brings the Midwestern sensibilities. I think she brings the charm. They talked about very awkwardly talked about the George Floyd thing this week too, the murder of George Floyd. So I'm going to say Michelle from Edina. No, I don't know. Like, she'll be the last woman standing at the end of the show.
We both can be right here.
Yep.
Yours is a home run though, because you're calling the shot.
I'm calling the shot.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right,
Anyway.
back to Dustin.
This one is a Vikings draft prediction. The Minnesota Vikings will trade down in round 1 of the NFL draft.
Okay.
And get what?
Just off the record.
Second round pick? Yeah. I'm not.
They'll probably trade back like 5 or 6 spots, draft a 3 technique, and pick up an extra pick in round 3.
There you go.
Just to irritate the entire fan base.
5 7th round picks. 5 7th round picks, Wheelman.
Hey, the Kansas City Chiefs starting offensive line for the Super Bowl includes, I think, 3 7th round picks. So it can be done.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, back to Judd.
Despite the fact it's not trending this way right now, write this down. MLB will have a DH in the National League this season. So they are going to come to some type of compromise once they do begin to play.
In July?
Yeah, exactly. That you will have a DH in both the American and National Leagues. So MLB will have a universal DH this season.
I know that every time I say this, I'm technically ripping on you because you love double switches and pitchers hitting. But
the art of the scoreboard.
On what planet is it a hard decision for the masses to say, you know what, we should open up more slots for good hitters like Nelson Cruz instead of pitchers who literally sit there and just watch 3 fastballs go down the middle? Like, in terms of making your game more exciting, why is it even
what they
a
do
debate?
is they square around and they move the man over.
So exciting. Is he going to get it down? Oh, there's 2 strikes. Are they still going to have him bunt?
No, you can't.
It's exciting.
No, don't do that.
Write this down.
All right, Declan.
A Royal Rumble prediction here.
Don't steal mine.
At least one former WWE champion who hasn't wrestled in the last 4 years will make an appearance at the men's Royal Rumble match.
Wow.
So very specific.
So who are some of the candidates here?
Well, CM Punk's the dream one.
I think they're going to wait until there's fans to bring him back.
Yeah, because the pop of that would be insane. Trying to think.
They wouldn't do it in an empty arena, would they? With him, like, you have to do it with fans.
You know, like, I don't know, like, this is just a complete random one, but like Alberto Del Rio, like, he hasn't wrestled in 4 years. You know, I'm just throwing one. I'm trying to think of I'm thinking of major. He might be in jail. He's had some bad domestic problems.
So he's not getting into the WWE Hall of Fame. Oh, wait, they don't care about that.
Yeah, they don't care about that either. But someone who was a WWE champion who hasn't wrestled in the last 4 years makes an appearance at the men's Royal Rumble match. The Rock. I
feel like The Rock is almost like way too big to risk, tearing a pec for a $50 million movie payday at this point. But
true.
So, all right. I'm going to make a
write this down.
Similar prediction. I was hoping you wouldn't steal this, and you didn't. Ronda Rousey will make her return at this Sunday's Royal Rumble.
I like that one.
Ronda Rousey make her return. By the way, so she hasn't been announced. She's been gone for a long time. And at least one odds place has her as the second favorite to win the Women's Royal Rumble right now. So this would not be a home run. I just want you to know that like she took a screenshot of the odds and put it out there and said,
dude,
she's still a
whatever.
thing. Is she still a big deal?
She had a kid or something.
She was trying. I don't know if she's had one, but the reason she stepped away was that she wanted to have a kid.
Okay.
Ronda Rousey did?
And she's bad with the whole Kafabe thing. She doesn't know where to draw the line.
Doesn't strike me as a mom type, but okay, cool.
Yeah, so I think for them, they're just so desperate to get traction because their ratings have gone down. I wouldn't be shocked if they said, listen, we don't need you for long. We literally just need you we need you 5 times between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, and we'll give you $1 million just to see if people watch. Or I'm wrong. I will
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, Dustin, your final swing.
My last one's also a Royal Rumble prediction. Cesaro or Brock Lesnar will win the Royal Rumble. It's probably not a home run because I took 2, but
I love Cesaro. If Brock Lesnar wins the Royal Rumble, we can all just quit.
Yeah.
Well, I think they'll bring them back to fight Reigns at Mania, and they have a better storyline this time.
That's a safe bet,
I guess with the Heyman thing.
Cesaro would be great because he has just been.
I'm hoping for Cesaro because
he's been buried as a tag team guy, and he's an unbelievable wrestler.
He's fantastic. So,
what do you think is Cesaro's chance to win?
You guys are going to be. I just came up with an on-the-fly prediction that gave in to what you guys are doing. I can't believe it. 51 years old, and I'm influenced by
Judd,
this.
do you feel like Paul Heyman is better is he better with Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar in your mind?
Is Brock still doing his thing?
Kind of.
Where's Brock now?
He's so winded and out of shape. He's turning into Goldberg. He's a one-trick pony in the ring.
He's old, right?
Yeah.
He's in his 40s,
maybe early 40s. Yeah.
Oh, early 40s.
He's actually probably not as old as you think.
That. Okay.
So, Dustin, since you have this platform and you've done a great job with these predictions, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that got you to this point?
Vince McMahon.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And thank you guys for bringing back Songs by the Yule-Log this year, which was my favorite thing for years and years. So that brought a lot of joy around the holiday season. So
awesome.
I'm glad it brought joy to someone.
I'm that person. So
Dustin, great work, and we'll get you on again sometime, right?
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, cool.
Thanks,
That's a guest listener predictor, Dustin. Judd, your final prediction.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, Judd.
I had in this space a Twins prediction, but I'm going to move that to next week. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to give in and give you guys a wrestling prediction off of what Phil said about what's going on with the popularity and ratings for that.
Okay.
In the next year. So from now until
next year's Royal Rumble.
Next year's Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll help you with the wrestling calendar.
Thank you very much. WWE will bring back Donald Trump for a storyline.
Whoa!
Because if you're that hard up and
Write
he
it
is
down.
hard
You like
up,
writing things down.
and he's going to be
100%.
and he's going to be
not even a home run.
Star for
Not even a
attention.
home run, yeah.
Donald Trump will be brought back for some sort of storyline.
Well,
and him and Vince
They've had
McMahon, and they had one 12 years ago.
Yep.
A shave my head match.
I
right?
watched some of it one time.
Or
Yeah.
shave your head match. And him and Vince McMahon and Linda McMahon have been friends for 35
Linda
years.
was his small business advisor or something on the first.
She's like, listen, we launched
Year.
NXT.
Yeah,
that was a
you're
small
right.
business.
Yeah,
You're exactly
Linda
right.
McMahon was part
Dex,
of his
that's
cabinet
right.
when he first took office. Yeah.
I love that. Like Linda McMahon.
And he
of
was
all the
concerned
people
when
you could bring
Vince
in,
blew up, right?
Least favorite McMahon by far.
least charismatic.
Yeah. Stephanie number one.
You should have brought Stephanie in to run small businesses.
Steph knows what she's doing in more ways than one.
We should almost fill out. Can we fill out Biden's cabinet with people from wrestling that we think would be good?
Absolutely.
Like education.
Yeah.
The genius from the late 80s, early 90s. One of the Poffos. Anyways.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, Declan.
All right, my last one is actually a sports prediction here. So, Ryan Johansson will not be on the Wild's roster by the time the regular season ends.
Marcus
Johansson. No, you could have not said anything, but I appreciate your honesty.
No, that's too obvious.
Marcus Johansson will not be on the Wild's roster by the time the regular season ends. Marcus Johansson has been a disaster.
Yeah, he's not.
Disaster. And at least he's a UFA at the end of the year, but I think he's gone. He's just,
and you called it.
He's atrocious.
Dex called it. I give him a ton of credit here. He told me this guy's gonna stink.
He's gonna be awful.
And he is garbage.
He's
Write this
bad.
down.
Came through.
He's so bad.
Good job, Dex.
All right, final prediction of the week. You write this down. Andrelton Simmons, rest easy, will not make an error in a Twins do or die postseason game in 2021. Write this down. I just want you to know that he's not going to do what Jorge Polanco did if the Twins get to that point.
Do or die meaning elimination.
An elimination game.
Okay, just want to be
Jorge
sure.
Polanco made a critical, ridiculous error in a do or die postseason game.
In other words, he will be the man at shortstop, Declan.
No. That's fine.
No, I know.
No, I'm saying it's a layup, but
Yeah.
I'm like the only way that I don't get this point is if he does make an error.
Just make it funny.
Phil had to watch both those games with me, okay? And I'm sure he never wants to watch another postseason baseball game with me ever again because it was something.
Just throwing himself.
It's only an 18-game skid, okay? Don't worry about it.
God, dude.
It's only 18 games.
Say that out loud again. Like what?
The longest losing streak in major
games.
in North American history.
Amazing. So those are your predictions for this week. Most of them are likely to be wrong. And that's why we have the accountability session every single week. The only show in America that keeps track of our predictions here every Wednesday on Mackey and Judd. It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down. Write this